Hello, folks. Welcome to the Crime Dog live stream. I'm your host, Johnny Fiorica, retired detective with the Rochester, New York Police Department. After serving 30 years, I work uniform patrol, undercover narcotics, street investigations. I was a hostage negotiator for over 20 years, closing out my career with the fine men and women of the ATF. That's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. It was a federal task force. Our main focus was violence and gun trafficking throughout these great United States of America. Sitting side saddle with me, as usual, you know who it is. He's my trusted co-host. He was also a retired detective with the Rochester, New York Police Department after serving 22 plus years. He was a legendary street cop in the infamous, which means more than famous, Genesee section. He was an undercover cop. He was a SWAT team member, homicide detective. This guy's resume goes on and on and on. David Simpson, welcome to the live stream, brother.
It's nice to be here, Johnny. A little later hour.
Yeah, I had some stuff I had to do with the family. We did a last minute audible. We didn't know if we were going to go live tonight, but I will tell you this though. You and Danny, shout out to our super producer Danny Agnew. You guys circled the wagons and headed out to Webster last night for their school board meeting. It looks like the infectious, crazy minds are now seeping into the where life used to be once worth living, Webster, the town of. Apparently, the woke liberal fucks are out there now, huh, David?
Shots fired.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
What do you want to do? You want to?
I would like to know. I don't really know what was said at the meeting. I know, I talked to Kim and I have an idea of what took place, but I would like to know I haven't heard yet the school, the school district's response. So I'm interested to hear that.
Well, first of all, I don't really care what their response is, and here's why. Okay, here's why. Allowing it to happen and not doing anything about it is a sign of acceptance. That's number one. That's Johnny Fiorica's opinion. I am only one half of the opinion of the Crime Dog podcast and live stream. David, you have your own opinions, but I'm going to give you some strong opinions from Johnny Fiorica right now. I don't give a shit what goes on anywhere in any school district. The only thing that I give a shit about is us teaching our children math, science, and how to be good people. Okay. Because let me tell you why what really salts my nuts regarding what happened in Webster. Okay. Letting them do an ice out protest. Because God forbid a Catholic child, which by the way, David, you and I were both raised as such. Okay.
Look how good we turned out.
If one child were to bring their Bible to the Webster's fucking school district and start reading from it, it would not be publicly consumed. But because these fucking little pussy fucking goddamn school administrators don't want to grow a sack, okay, they allow shit to happen. I don't apologize to any of these people, okay? Why don't you act like men and women, be leaders, and keep this bullshit out of your schools? That's number one. Number two, okay, you should not encourage this. If these kids truly want to do it, by the way, let me just rewind a second, folks. I'm going to look right in the camera so you know I'm telling you the truth. I've said it. Pull the tapes. We got the receipts. I was an undercover cop, okay? Many hats that I wore at the RPD. I walked in protests. Didn't believe what I was walking in. Obviously, I was sent there undercover to listen and watch all these crazy unhinged douchebags in Rochester. I was undercover in these protests, okay? I support any protest. A lot of protests that I was undercover in were against anti-police, and it was all this anti-police rhetoric, okay? I was there to work in an undercover capacity to keep an eye on these unhinged assholes, number one. Number two, at the end of the day, what it came down to is I always support everyone's right to protest, even people that are protesting against the cops. That's not my point. Don't get it twisted. If these kids want to protest, wake their dumb asses up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and they could walk around the Webster fucking campus with their dumb Dan's Crafts and Things signs if they really believed in what they were doing. Allowing them to do this during school hours, I hold the administrators, the principal, the vice principal, and any leaders in that school district responsible, David. Gavel dropped.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I can't follow that up.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
You know, David, you and Danny went out to the Webster School District yesterday, and I thought it was great. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're.
Listen, I got a bitch though about this. Our producer, I wasn't allowed to like soar. All right, I wanted my reporter moment to like do an in-depth interview, and Danny literally goes, "Don't ask any questions. Just put the microphone in her face and let her talk."
So Danny clipped your wings, is what you're saying?
Clip my wings.
Yeah.
Holy God. He made me took me from being a bird to make me a squirrel.
Yeah. Well, Kim DeRosa, who you did a great job. You were there. you were there. Kimberly DeRosa, by the way, for those that don't know who Kimberly is, she ran as a candidate in New York 135. She's an excellent candidate. She had an unsuccessful campaign, but that still does not stop the fire that burns underneath her. She's a phenomenal woman. She's a phenomenal mom. Phenomenal family person, phenomenal community member. Follow her at K_DeRosa_NY135 on Twitter, because she has done a ton of stuff. She wasn't somebody that just ran for a position in the New York State Assembly. She backs up what she says. She has been stronger than ever the last couple of years. She came on to our podcast, David, when we were new snot-nosed kids onto the scene. And we had her on our iHeart show. We had her on a couple times, and we hosted Bob Lonsberry. She's in it because she believes in it. She's just not a talking head, Kimberly. And she went out there, and I believe it's kind of like a hybrid. I think she might live in a town of Penfield, but her school district is a town of Webster, which is why she spoke at Webster, because Webster Schrader is the one who allowed this ice out protest to occur on their school campus, which is totally disgusting. And David, as a side note, here's what I want to offer. Please feel free to share my comments that I've made thus far with anybody from the Webster School District. Send it to the principal, send it to the vice principal. I'll flip a coin, and I'm guessing they won't have the balls to come on to explain their point of view. But if they do, they'll always be welcome, David. And at the end of the day, what it comes down to is everyone's always welcome on our podcast. But don't think that it's going to be something that we're going to placate you, because we've taken a lot of hits, by the way, the last couple of weeks on Twitter. People thinking that we had guests on and we kissed their asses and stuff. But I'll tell you this right now. We shoot it down the middle. We talk, and that's it. And if anyone's got a big set of balls and they want to come on, let us know. We'll have our super producer, Danny Agnew, send you the link. Stop talking shit on Twitter. Act like a woman. Act like a fucking man. Come on the podcast. Let's have a discussion. You probably won't, because all you do is hide behind your avatars and your screen names. But at the end of the day, David, I really applaud Kimberly for sticking up for her community, sticking up for the kids. And she does an excellent job. I watched her video that she had on her Twitter page, and she did an excellent job explaining why, hey, you know what? This ice out protesting our immigration and customs enforcement, law enforcement in a school was not appropriate.
She is fantastic, and she needs to. I wish she actually moved like a mile north and was actually in Webster and could run for different political positions in the town of Webster, because she is fantastic, and I think she'd have a lot better chance, obviously, of winning in the town of Webster, village of Webster, than she would in liberal heaven, Penfield.
Yeah.
You know, she does a lot on her own time. I mean, you know, it can't be easy working and showing up at these different things. You know, this thing, she was there at like 4:30. Like it can't be easy doing this, and she does it, and she's obviously doing it because she believes in the cause. And I just commend her. You know, her son was there with her too, and he's a great kid, obviously raised well. Just good stuff, and they represent the Republican Party very well. And I just wish she didn't live in Penfield.
Yeah. Well, kudos to Kim because she deserves more accolades than we're giving her right now. And New York 135 is definitely underserved. Who's the woman that ended up winning? It's what's
John
her name?
Lunsford.
Yeah, Lunsford. What her bullshit of the electric school buses and her other woke agendas. Oh my God. You know,
Yeah,
Kevin,
her line tonight was Jen Lunsford's statement. They Brian Greene issued a statement basically, and I didn't
who,
really
the
love it.
DA?
Yeah, I didn't really love it. He basically ducked a question by, I think it was 13, but basically about bail reform changes due to related to the domestic violence or charges, and he basically ducked. He was like, that's a legislative issue, I'm not going to get involved in that. And I'm like, all right, come on, like, you're the lead, you're one of the lead law enforcement
The
officials in
highest.
the area. Yeah, you can voice your opinion. If you, obviously he has a liberal take on it, or he would have probably said something. So I would imagine he leans pretty liberal. But anyways, I forgot where I was going with it. But yeah, he was going on a tangent about the domestic violence stuff, and they
Yeah.
issued a statement or asked Lunsford a question about bail reform related to domestic violence, if there are going to be any changes. And Lunsford issued a statement. No one's brought, basically, no, sum and substance was, no one's brought anything to my attention where there any changes need to be made. And I'm like,
Oh,
really?
really? Obviously, she doesn't know who Pam Helding and Sheriff Baxter are.
Right. Lib Heaven must be just, she must be just bathing in liberal bullshit. Jesus. That was her statement. You can find it, I think it was on 13.
And by the way, yeah, in 13, of course, the liberal fucks that they are, and everybody else in the liberal Rochester media.
By the way, I sent it to Danny, and he doesn't like any of the things I send to him, by the way. I didn't get any love tonight. I sent him a bunch of stuff.
Well, what's amazing though, David, is the fact that she's allowed to spew that bullshit on local media because they're just an arm of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
For her to come out there and say that there's nothing out there right now, when you have a Republican senator, Pam Helming, and Sheriff Todd Baxter that constantly have pushed for the SAFE Act to come out, and she's basically denying any knowledge, workable knowledge on that.
Yeah. Yeah, she exactly what she did. She said
Right.
no one's brought it to her attention that there's any changes that need to be made.
Right.
That's what she said in sum and substance. That's what she said.
Where they talk about the reasonable standard and the safe standard about
they were just talking about domestic
violence. Talking
violence.
about Pam Helming and Sheriff Baxter.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
talking about,
Yeah.
hey, we have bail reform issues. The only issue that we need to have is we should look at it a case-by-case basis, and there should be a safety issue there, which is in every single state except New York State. Come on, with Lunsford. Tell her to go spew her bullshit to everybody at Channel 13.
How does the Democratic Party allow women to get the shit beat out of them in a domestic violence thing and let the guy get out in 8 minutes? Like, of all the things I thought the Democrats would be for, it'd be protecting women. Like, a guy beats the shit out of his wife, and like, you come and lock him up. You go in front of the judge, and he literally says APT, and he's no, you know what I mean? Like, he gets bail.
They only protect women when it's convenient for them, number one. Number two, they only defend men when they decide that they're women and they throw a dress on. So that's when they defend men. The Democratic Party, I got to be honest with you, I wonder.
Or if you're a terrorist. They love terrorists and criminals.
I'm just wondering, David, when the Democratic, like the mainstream moderate Democrats, I was wondering about this the other day as I was emptying the dishwasher.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you put it in or did you just take it out?
Well, you'd be surprised. My first job was at the Lamplighter Restaurant under the most famous businessman in Rochester. His name is Mr. Nick Castronova. He owned the Lamplighter Restaurant. I don't know if it's still there or not.
Age? How old were you when you had your first job there?
13. I made $3.75.
13? That's slave labor. You're not allowed to work at 13.
13 or 14. I was, yeah. Maybe 14. 14, maybe.
My first job was at 24.
24 years old? Oh, yeah. My God.
It was called the Rochester Police Department.
So to answer your question, yeah. So I had a dishwashing job. I don't know if that carried over psychologically, but I can't stand dishes in the sink. I I can't stand a dirty sink, and I can't stand when a dishwasher's clean and it's not emptied.
Fancy you say that because I have never used a dishwasher in my life. I actually feel like if there's dishes in the sink, I just wash the dishes because I
No.
feel like you got to rinse them off and then I'm supposed to put them in the dishwasher and run it. Why don't I just wash them?
Okay,
I'm gonna
first
rinse
first of
them,
all, you rinse the dishes off.
right?
You
But I might
take
as well
out
wash them. Throw a little soap in there, a little scrubby, and I'm done. It's already done.
Yeah, but the dishwasher has high heat and high hot water. It sanitizes everything in there.
I don't have any germs. No germs.
You know what I mean? That's like taking a shower with like lukewarm water, man, you know? Anyways, but yeah, so I was thinking about this as I was emptying the dishwasher the other day, Dave, and I was sitting there going, you know, when is there going to be because the Democratic Party is just a Democratic Party in name only, right? And I say that
Yes,
because
sir.
in name only because the extreme left wing has hijacked that party, and I believe they are the minority, not minority by race, minority by numbers. And I think that party is in such disarray right now that the fact that no one is actually stepping up and taking the bull by the horns, and I think if they did, I think that you would have a lot more of the vocal majority votes standing up and going, "Yeah, hey, idiots, sit down." I mean, it's literally being hijacked. I don't know. They're not the Democratic Party. They're not Bill Clinton. They're not
No,
JFK.
they're the Socialist Party or the Communist Party.
And it's the minority of it because the Democrats in general, they may dislike Donald Trump, but a legitimate Democrat, a moderate, doesn't subscribe to the crazy asinine bullshit that they're doing. They're not people that are
Like
anti
defunding TSA and
yeah.
Department of Homeland Security when
Yeah,
there's an imminent
right?
terrorist attack, and they're defunding
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
They're not these crazy extreme left-wing radicals, which by the way is, we always say this too, right? Let's be fair. I mean, do I believe in Islamic religion? Of course I don't. I was raised a Catholic boy. Okay. However, do I feel that every Muslim is a radical terrorist? Of course I don't, because I'm not a fucking idiot. Okay. But I feel as though the extremists have hijacked that religion and made all of them look like a bag of assholes. That's a problem for them. The Muslims have a huge marketing issue on their hands, considering what the vocal minority in their party has done. And I say minority in the Muslim religion, David, we're going to get to it in a minute, because if they all believed in what some of these radicals are doing, and we're going to touch upon what happened in New York City, we wouldn't be able to control them. It's a freaking one of the largest religions in the world. So just like the Democrats, okay, the Democrats need to step up. The majority of those people in the party need to step up and say, "What the fuck are you people doing?" I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm on.
Listen.
I'm in a bad mood
I
tonight,
never.
David.
You're fired up. I've never advocated for racial profiling or religious profiling,
Yeah,
except when it comes to terrorism. Like, right? Like, who's committing crimes and driving cars? Absolutely not. It has nothing to do with race. It never has been. Right? It has to do with a lot of different intel you get, stuff like that. But when it comes to terrorism, if I'm in an airport,
yeah,
it's 100% focused on race and religion,
yeah,
because out of all the terrorist attacks that have occurred, race and religion has been pretty consistent to be a key factor in those that commit those atrocities.
correct.
So I'm not going to look for a Conor McGregor type individual walking through the airport ready to blow up a plane. Or I'm not going to look for a guy to yell Ali Akbar that looks like Conor McGregor. Just probably wouldn't be prudent on my part if I'm thin slicing
Right.
what I need to be aware of.
Yeah.
So,
Well, what do they always say? Not every Muslim's a terrorist, but in most instances, the extreme terrorists that we've seen are Muslim.
no every.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Like, you can
Yeah.
bitch at me all I want. Show me where I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Pretty much 99.9% are exactly that.
Or
So,
let me pronounce it like Mandami. Muslim.
yeah.
Muslim.
And that guy, oh my God.
Fucking guy. Oh,
Uh-oh.
shit, Danny, I'm sorry, yeah, whoa. Danny's in our headphones right now because one of us
We're getting
didn't
yelled at. We're
leave.
getting scolded. Scolded.
We went on a fucking tirade. Sorry, Danny. Yeah, can we play Kim DeRosa's video? I'm sorry, Kim. Play their video, please.
I'm here with Kim DeRosa at the Webster School District office. Kim, what brings you here tonight?
So I'm here to speak as a taxpayer. I'm pretty disappointed in the recent ICE out protest that was conducted on campus at Webster Schrader. There are a lot of issues there, and the school administrators, our tax dollars go to fund academics and a quality education for our students, not to push one radical political agenda. So it's not the school administrator's job to pick a side. It's for them to be politically neutral and ensure that the students get the education that they actually deserve.
Well said, Kim.
So I'm here tonight because we want kids to grow up to be successful in life as adults. That's the whole point of being here, right? Having schools. We all agree that quality education is vital to that goal, and Webster promises to nurture and inspire personal excellence. So when students skip class to protest a politically hot topic, parading through the halls of school with ill-informed signs, how exactly are you providing quality education? When I was in high school, I liked to skip class too. I don't recall my teachers ever encouraging it though. And taxpayers, we do not want to pay to facilitate so-called protests on hot-button issues just so teenagers can get 5 seconds of fame on the local news. How exactly do you maintain continuity of the learning environment for all students when students are screaming, marching through hallways, and recording it all on their cell phones? To take it one step further, you might teach facts about exactly who immigration and customs enforcement agents are and who they are detaining and deporting, all of whom were in our country illegally and removed in New York State. That is what actually helps protect children. And you are teaching students to disrespect and villainize the law enforcement officers whose job does more to keep them safe than anything that you do. The district statement about school-sponsored protests included mental health resources in a supportive environment. So you think if a student does not support a nice out protest, we are supposed to believe that they will have a supportive environment at school? Because they won't believe that. What about teachers or staff who have a different view on this issue? They are not getting a supportive environment either. That's why I think you should get politics out of school. There should be no side promoted. A K-12 learning environment should be about mastering basics, and in high school especially, preparing them for college or a career. Your job is not to pick a political side. It is to focus on academics. And we are watching you.
Well said, Kim. Well said. Cheers, cheers, here. By the way, our super producer, Danny Agnew, had chopped up some, that was much longer. That was Danny's edited version of Kim's speech. Danny, thank you for doing that, brother. And Kim, thank you for going out there and putting everything online for the kids. It was awesome. But that video was edited just for time purposes. But if you want to see the whole video, I believe it's online. You can see the whole thing online. Danny, David, did they cut her off?
You get a certain amount of time. You get 4 minutes. So they're going to cut you off when you're at the 4 minutes. But I think she had prepared a statement that was pretty close to 4 minutes. So I would imagine she got, what she wanted to say out.
Yeah. All right, we got Lisa G here. Kim is great. She's not a hothead and does not rage about. That's wrong. She jumps on to resolve. I wish that could describe me, but it doesn't. I am a hothead sometimes. That's great. Thank you, Lisa. What do we got here? Newt. They're teaching kids to be anti-authority activists. The administrators should be fired. Exactly, Newt. The kids exit high school unprepared for college. 100%. It's just unbelievable. I don't even know what they're doing, man. It's just, strongholds. And by the way, I hate to use the term Republican because I don't even support a lot of the Republican agenda, because I think
I can consider both of us more independent. The only reason I'm a registered Republican is so I can vote in the primaries.
Yeah.
I am totally disenchanted with the Republican Party too, especially locally. So I'm more of an independent, but Go ahead. I want to make that clear every time.
No, 100% right. What it comes down to is Newt's right, man. I mean, these kids are coming out. I mean, Penfield used to be like a Republican stronghold, and when it was out there, it was like I don't want them to push political agendas on the kid, but when the Republicans were running Penfield, you certainly did have kids doing things like this. They weren't going out and protesting and saying, "Hey, Ronald Reagan and George Bush and da 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 da." And if they did something that was pro-American, different story. But at the end of the day, man, I don't know what the hell happened to that town, and it seems like it's seeping into the town of Webster too. Anyway, what did Fire Guy say?
The Schrader side. Let's Thomas didn't have anything to do with this.
Yeah. Yeah, Fire Guy said it'd be good to see a board member on.
Yeah.
Good luck, Fire Guy.
Don't hold your breath.
No one's coming out. Yeah, of course they cut off your last sentence, Kim. Very well done, Kim. You did very well. You represent that area very proudly. We're very happy to do anything to promote your product because at the end of the day, man, without your voice out there, I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, and let me just say, I've seen people go after Kim, by the way, and I can't imagine why. She's out there in the arena. She's in the game. She's on the field.
Yeah.
She's trying. She's battling. She's fighting. She's not on a computer all the time. She shows up at these things on her own time and does the best she can to get a message out.
Yeah.
So fuck them. Like anyone that wants to come at her, you can go through me because that's bullshit.
Right. Oh,
she's actually out there. She's out there trying the best she can to advocate for the message that we would support. And these Twitter warriors that want to go after her. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it at all.
It's funny too that she's out there though. Number one, she's got her face out there. She's got her face out there. She's got her real name out there. She's not hiding behind any fake screen names and avatars or anything like that. What do we got here, Kristen? They just protested the other day at Fairport House. Fairport's another shithole, by the way. Not the town. The school district is turning into a total.
Well, it always has been, though. I mean, for the last 6, 7. Well, not always. Like back to when my dad went there and stuff like that. Right. I'm just talking.
You're talking the last couple of years, man.
In the last probably, I don't know, 6 to 10 years, it's been pretty liberal. There's been a number of incidents. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but there's been a lot that took place there, like the Black Lives Matter stuff, that take the police flag down, like that type of bullshit.
Oh, we got the down under Denise coming in from Australia. For those who remember the 60s, yeah, no shit, man. It does seem like there's a boomerang. Denise is right. It does seem like there's some boomerang going on right now, doesn't it? Like you see some of the things that went on in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even some of the 80s, some of these protests. It just seems like it's a boomerang. It's almost like a 2.0 generation.
It's like flared jeans are back, baby. You just can't.
Flared jeans, bell bottoms.
Yeah.
You name it, man. Danny, what's next on the topic? What you got, Danny? Pop it up. Surprise us. We'll pivot.
Thank you, Danny.
It's proven mass shooters don't snap. They are created through a series of unfortunate life events and stressors that can build upon each other. In that process, they show signs we can look for to get them help before tragedy occurs. Now we are asking for your help by watching and listening for these signs in your community that are signaling something is wrong. Being a hero doesn't always involve running towards danger. You can be a hero by knowing signs that help us prevent danger. Look for people around you who are struggling. They may have changed in a way that makes you worried. FBI BAU research shows there are common behaviors to look for. It's the coworker who feels deeply wronged and can't let it go. It's the patient's family member who holds the hospital responsible for their loved one's pain. It's a client who is going through crisis, has withdrawn from treatment, and might be thinking about self-harm. Research shows that someone is much less likely to become a shooter if someone notices these signs and tells someone. We can all be heroes simply by noticing behavior changes, caring for our communities, and saying something when we are worried. Talk through your concerns with someone you trust and make a plan for how to help the person who is struggling. Be a hero. Know the signs. Speak up.
First of all, David, thank you for sharing that. Number two, I don't know why the hell the FBI would put some limp-wristed dude in the beginning of that video shooting a gun.
That guy's never shot a gun in his life.
Jesus, who was that? The producer who like graduated from NYU?
It was Dash Patel.
Oh my God, can't even hang on to a pistol. That's disgusting. But number two, the content of that video is right there. By the way, that should be called the Alex Preddy video, by the way, because everything that they described in there is Alex Preddy, who was killed by Border Patrol.
But the one thing I'd like to say about that is the fact that they dodged the fact that when the guy living next door to you has an ISIS or Al Qaeda flag flying from his house,
Right.
and he walks out with, a la university sweatshirt on,
Right.
and he's like staunchly very radical religious Muslim,
Yeah.
and he doesn't have a job and stuff.
Yeah.
Those might be the things you also want to look at and be like,
maybe
something's going on here. How many times have we seen like, oh, and he had an ISIS flag hanging from his house? It's like, what?
What?
Like,
I can't. What would
have gave you the indication he was going to blow up a building?
Give me 42 more signs that I should look at
Right.
besides that. Give me more signs than his Ali Akbar hoodie on that he had on, or his Iran T-shirt. I mean, come on,
Right.
man.
Exactly. The beautiful thing about this, folks, is I've yet to see a terrorist in the United States that has done something that showed a criminal mastermind type mentality.
Right.
That would be terrifying. These are borderline idiots, and we're missing them as civilians and citizens. We're missing it. We're missing making that call. So I encourage everyone. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I need to go through field interview forms on a regular basis from citizens calling stuff in, because those were great pieces of information that led to huge investigations.
Yep.
And I would encourage you, if you see something, it is of the most value to call them and give them that information so they can take that little nugget and run with it. So don't discount anything. If you see something, say something.
Yeah, that's a good point, David. And going back to bringing it home to Rochester, Newt will remember this. Mark Walker, who ended up being a technician and retired with us, RPD, he used to work Maple Section. I think Maple Section Midnights. They ended up calling it the Walker FIF for a little bit for the field interview form. He's the one he's the one who wrote a little bit of an intelligence report down. It wasn't anything that appeared to be earth-shattering at the time, but he submitted it and they found it, and that's how they ended up catching Artie Shawcross.
And
so you're right.
And so for the layman, like for the civilian, a field interview form for the Rochester Police Department is an intelligence form, and it can be it's narrated by a police officer, but the information could come from a confidential informant, it could come from a concerned citizen, it can come from another cop, and it just would lay out the who, what, where, when of why someone would be suspicious related to a particular crime.
Yep.
And it would get sent through. And it would be, let's say it's drugs, let's say it's weapons, let's say it's terrorism. And it goes to those different units and it gets disseminated to them. And a lot of proactive cops would then take those FIFs, they call them, that come to those units, and they would thumb through them and they would look for something that made their brain dance and they would then run with it. And so I would encourage you to call.
Yeah.
Because those are great bits of information that cops really appreciate.
That's great info, David. See something, say something, baby. Do we just ignore the street young criminals running around with guns day and night? Well, the Democrats do, Lisa G. They're running rampant in Rochester. They don't go to jail for guns. Why wouldn't they run around with them? You're 100% right, Lisa. They do ignore them. That's the Democrats for you. Danny, what's up? What's next? Let's go to Hochul. This is a beauty right here. So, Danny, there's no video, right? Okay. We don't need one. Horse teeth veneers Hochul had a press conference about making...
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
Like the beard stuff. You really think she has veneers?
Oh, she 100% does, David.
Come on. How do you tell she has veneers?
David, come on, man. They're definitely veneers.
How are you so up to date on all the cosmetology betterment feature things that you know about?
I don't know. Maybe my wife watches Real Housewives of every other city in America, and I see all this stuff. But if you look at her mouth, like those teeth don't fit. Those aren't. You can't tell when someone's got veneers. They're not natural teeth.
I mean, if I had to get veneers, I would pay enough money to get veneers that match my mouth.
No, but it's
The
very
goddamn governor. She can't get the right veneers in her mouth.
very difficult to. And I'm not a dentist, but I just play one on TV. When you have like perfect teeth like that, it's very. And they look like they're too big for her mouth and her face. 100% those are fake
So
teeth.
what's the difference between veneer? Like my front teeth are all fake from hockey. Like these are fake.
I think
So what's the difference between these being fake and veneers? What's a
I don't know.
veneer?
I don't know.
Aren't they fake teeth?
I think that they don't saw half your tooth off and then screw the other tooth in your mouth, something like that. I don't know. We're getting deep into the weeds here from me just poking fun at the
These are
dentist.
questions I want to know. You're older than me. You're wiser than me.
Daniel,
you have-
my brother, you are older than me. Do you still feel
You
the
got a black
pain?
beard, and I got a little gray in my beard, but you have a jet black beard.
Well,
And
David,
you know about veneers. I was just asking
it's funny
you
because
to educate me.
my beard doesn't seem like I'm older than you, does it? Does it? Doesn't now.
Your beard looks like you're 20.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment, not an insult. Thank you.
It wasn't meant to be an insult.
Seems like it was a left-handed compliment.
What do they call it again? Hair club for men?
Just for men.
Just for men. Hair club just for men?
Hair club is where you take. Hair club is hair replacement on your head. I don't have that. I'm bald.
What's this?
Just for men is the
Just
hair
for men.
dye.
Just for men is the name. Just for men.
Just for men.
So
It's
what if
like-
a woman can't use it?
I don't know what women use. I think there's a whole. I don't think just for men. No, it'd be just for women. Yeah, just see. There you go. Spicy mustard. Yeah,
All right.
just for men.
I digress. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Implants. Yeah, she's got implants and not the good ones either. But anyways, so this is what we want to talk about. There's no video attached to this, folks. But she had this whole thing about make America or make New York more affordable again. And I stole this. I sent it to Danny because she's talking about insurance prices. She's talking about how insurance companies are raising the price in New York State for your premiums, your deductibles, all this other stuff. And I sent it to Danny because I think it's Chrissy Murillo. She ran for Erie County exec. I think it's Murillo. But she had a great response to it. And she's like, I did a deep dive. It was her tweet. I think I sent it. And her tweet was basically saying, yeah, insurance in New York's not affordable, has nothing to do with the insurance companies, has everything to do with horrible New York State political politics and policy. Because what ended up happening was every single insurance company raised their rates and their premiums because of bail reform. Because what ended up happening was they were stealing cars all over, the Kia boys, if you will, stealing Kias and Hyundais, and they were joyriding them, crashing them. And guess who paid for them? Not the suspects, not the suspect's family. You know who paid for them? We did. We paid through those called premiums and insurance through our insurance policies. And Chrissy came out. Like I said, she's a great follow on Twitter, by the way. And she explained since 2020 or 2021 how insurance rates basically doubled in 6 years because of the bail reform policy, because of the stolen cars that just went rampant. And she literally, I think they went from something like 16,000 stolen cars, like double that, to like 33 or 35,000. The stats are unbelievable.
Oh, have you noticed your car insurance going up?
Yeah. Now, I mean, it's creeping, bracket creeping. It's definitely gone up for the last 5 years. 100% it's gone up.
So there's certain things I pay attention to. What car insurance is like gas. Like it's just, you need it, you got it, you go. It's one of life's awful things you have to deal with. So I try not to focus on like what it costs. I don't even know what I pay in car insurance, to be honest with you. But so I guess my point being, when it comes to like houses and real estate,
Yeah.
that affected my bottom line when I was in, I did a lot of real estate. So that would affect how much money I could make off rent income and stuff like that. So I always knew to the dollar how much I was getting charged and insurance on my rental properties. But
Right.
in car, I didn't know it was going up that drastically.
Danny, put that last comment back up there, please.
That was my aunt. It's my aunt Marty.
Yeah. Well, first of all, she's right. If you think insurance is high in New York, you should move to Florida. Insurance premiums are higher here. She's right. Overall,
by the way, I love my aunt Marty. She's a great lady.
Shout out to her. But here's the thing, Marty. I agree with you 100%. I have property in Florida. I've owned property in Florida for close to closing in on almost 2.5, 3 decades now. Insurance is high there. The flip side to that is, and actually, Marty, I wanted you to make that comment because not only are you right, but David, did you see my tweet towards Rachel Barnhart? She's talking about the BS and the bullshit of, they're taking Baxter and the county are taking revenue from jail calls and they're putting them towards everything except rehabilitation for which New York state law says they got to put it towards rehabilitation for the prisoners. And my response to her was, yeah, I love that you're bitching about that and supporting the criminals, but you give two shits about Monroe County school taxes and property taxes, which, by the way, our school taxes and property taxes are the highest, if not the highest, in all of America. All of America. So, Marty, I 100% agree. I know that paying Florida insurance. Little shout out to you, David. She says she loves you back. Heart. Very cute. I didn't know that was your auntie. Auntie. But, at the end of the day, at least there's trade-offs when it comes to the state of Florida, where you pay heavy on one side, you don't get your nuts crushed on another side.
Right. Yeah.
And
I'd rather pay higher insurance on cars than higher property and school taxes.
Yeah.
I think the you know what I mean? I think the amount of money I spend on my property and school taxes is astronomical compared to what I spend on my vehicles.
Right. Oh, by the way, Newt's got a great line here. I want someone to explain to me how New York City, with 8 million people, has a budget of $10 billion, more than the entire state of Florida, which has 24. They have 3 times the people in Florida. That's just poor management.
It is. But I will say this: I'm gonna dance here.
Dance, baby.
Medicaid, Medicare, whatever you want. That's a huge scam that's going on, and it costs
Medicaid.
Medicaid. But I'm not work. I don't work, and I won't work because of the pensions. If police officers in Florida do not have the pensions that New York City and New York State police officers, firemen, school teachers have. So I will say that I understand that they're lower and I would want to live there now. And I'm 100% for that, which is a little hypocritical because I also cash a check on the first of the month. That's a nice check. Thanking the unions and, you know what I mean? Like the stuff that the state has to also afford to pay. So
right, but number one, you earned it. Number two, the city of Rochester put it in. They gave the state that money. You earned it.
Right, for me, but not for this. Like, not. I don't think for the school teacher. I don't think it's the same. I could be wrong.
I'm just talking about you. I'm just talking about the cops.
Yeah, I just saying our financial. The retirees in New York State are definitely more of a burden in New York than the retirees in Florida. So I understand that. I wouldn't say that it's equal as far as, New York gets a free pass, but Florida doesn't have to deal with that either. So it makes it a little skewed. There's no unions down there. There's no unions in the South.
Florida's got police unions.
I mean,
Danny, what's next, Danny? What's up?
Listen, I try to be down the middle. That's what we.
I know you're trying to.
I'm trying to be down the middle.
I want Angry David back. Where's Angry David?
Listen, you're angry. We can't both be angry on the same day.
Yeah. I'm fired up, bro. Danny, what's next, baby cakes?
Yeah, who pissed in your Cheerios?
Angry today. Oh, this is great. This
is going
unbelievable.
to get me fired up. I'd like to punch this fucker in the face.
Come on.
Good morning. On Saturday, a protest was held outside Gracie Mansion, where I live with my wife, Rama. Neither of us were home at the time. This was a vile protest rooted in white supremacy entitled Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City.
True.
I'm the first Muslim mayor of our city.
Muslim.
Anti-Muslim bigotry is nothing new to me, nor is it anything new for the 1 million or so Muslim New Yorkers who know this city as our home. While I found this protest appalling, I will not waver in my belief that it should be allowed to happen. Ours is a free society where the right to peaceful protest is sacred. It does not belong only to those we agree with. It belongs to everyone. I will defend that right every day that I am mayor, even when those protesting say things that I abhor. Let me also be clear about something else. New York City will never tolerate violence, whether from protests or counter-protests. Many of the counter-protesters met this display of bigotry peacefully, with a vision of a city that is welcoming to all. But a few did not. Two men, Amir Balat and Ibrahim Kayumi, traveled from Pennsylvania and attempted to bring violence to New York City. They are suspected of coming here to commit an act of terrorism. There is video of these two individuals throwing two devices towards the protest. The police department has determined that these were improvised explosive devices made to injure, maim, or worse. Thanks to the swift and decisive actions of NYPD officers at the scene, both men were immediately taken into custody, and the devices they brought taken off of our streets.
As alleged in the complaint, the defendants were inspired by ISIS to carry out their attack. There should be no confusion about what ISIS constitutes. It is a designated foreign terrorist organization responsible for deadly terrorist attacks across the globe and has taken credit for mass casualty attacks in Europe, the Middle East, and right here in the United States. And as alleged, both defendants have admitted that they acted on Saturday because of ISIS.
It's unbelievable. First and foremost, let me just say this.
She's phenomenal, by the way. Go ahead.
First of all, I'm going to bring up her in a second, but yeah, she is phenomenal. And by the way, the only thing I'm going to bring up is I love the fact that she wears her Star of David outside of her shirt.
And she's a billionaire that doesn't need a cent and decides to do that bullshit, that job for the good in New York.
Right. Right. First and foremost, for those that don't know, there was two Islamic Muslim extremists who literally brought bombs. They were protesting this radical group that was against Islam and terrorism, basically. But they were called white supremacists by the mayor. He wanted to focus on them, David, and he didn't even call out the two Muslim, or should I pronounce like him, Muslim. And then he danced around that they had bombs, used the fancy words, which is an incendiary device, okay?
I helped them.
Yeah. You know, it's just unbelievable how this guy downplays it, number one, okay? Focuses on the white supremacist protesters. These quote-unquote Muslims were anti-protesters, but they really weren't. They were there to blow people up. And they were idiots, which is why they never were successful at it. But what I love about this story, David, is this is the most anti-cop, anti-law enforcement mayor in the history of the city. And all you see are still shots of these fucking cops putting their lives in danger, jumping over barricades, going after these two filthy fucking savages. And at the end of the day, this piece of shit mayor has the balls to come out there and doesn't even call these radical Islamic terrorists.
Yeah. And you know what I hate also is that I hate that the mayor stands, and as far as it goes, that he is clearly protecting the religion which he so favors.
Subscribes to.
Right. But the fact that he will not give credit where it's due to the individual. He doesn't name their names. He doesn't bring them up and say, I'm going to put medals on these guys' chests. Those are heroes. These are everything we want. You know, if like he literally looked like someone was squeezing his nuts to get a compliment out of him towards the police.
100%.
I mean, it was like the bare minimum of what he could say. 100%. And then I want to like shift lanes for 1 second. There's one cop that they recognize this African American chief, and you know what, he ran and he participated in the arrest, and he was a supervisor, and you know, I appreciate a supervisor who will get involved, but once again, the goddamn street cop that actually tackled the guy and put him in custody, all right, and arrested him, the actual guy has not gotten any credit.
Right.
It's a chief jumping over a barricade that my 10-year-old could jump over, and I commend him. Like, he at least got involved. I know a lot of bosses that would have sat there and ran the other way. He didn't. I commend him for that. But the street cop that tackled the guy got no props, no medal, no press conference, no mention. And before the end of the show, we're gonna shout out his name because somebody should. So I'm going to find it, and we're going to shout that out. But
I don't disagree with you. It's just amazing, though. It's amazing how in a matter of a couple of months, New York City is just, it's not hyperbole on our part. It's just that I wouldn't go to New York City. I'm going to tell you this right now. I wouldn't have went there. Last time I went there was my wife surprised me for my 50th birthday, which was 6 years ago. And I would never go back there.
Yeah, I took my son to a Ranger game, and I took him. My son's been obsessed. I educated him about the Twin Towers coming down. My son's been obsessed about the Twin Towers and about the Freedom Towers, and he wanted to go to a Ranger game, and he wanted to go to the top of the Freedom Towers. And we went to Ground Zero, and we went to Freedom Towers and went to a Ranger game. And that was probably like 4 years ago, and I haven't been back, and he's wanted to go back, and I keep doing the shimmy, shimmy, shuffle to not go back.
Right.
And it's because of this stuff. I just don't feel comfortable going there, especially with the little guy. Quick shout out. Here's the police officer is Grant Polgarin.
There he is.
3rd Precinct.
Yeah, baby.
Specialist units. He's the one that tackled the guy and actually is the guy that took the terrorist into custody.
Right.
So, and he's got no props.
Right.
Grant Polgarin of the 33rd Precinct. Just
Shout
a cop.
out.
Just a cop doing his job. Open field tackle in the street like we've done, like a real cop does.
Right. That's awesome. Well, shout out to Grant Polgarian. Is that what his name?
Yep, Polgarian, 33rd Precinct.
Oh, shout out to him, man. Yeah, this whole thing is just disgusting. And I think there was something from CNN and the New York Times, and there was some other BS media out there. I'm not even going to get into all of it, but it was just so disgusting the way they just flip-flopped and played with words on the severity of the situation. Because aside from these kids being idiots, they literally waived their Miranda warning, which, for those that don't know, that is the standard TV stuff. You have the right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to, blah, 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 blah. They waived the right. They said, we want to talk. They claimed their allegiance to ISIS. They claimed that
through the sign up. Yep. They did everything they had to do.
Yep. And at the end of the day, what it came down to, David, is they didn't pussyfoot around it. The terrorists had more balls telling that they were terrorists than American media did. That's what disgusted me.
And listen, when the FBI puts these type of videos out, I'm telling you right now, it is not a good sign.
Yeah.
They're on there's phones chirping and there's things going on that are making our intelligence unit and our federal law enforcement extremely concerned. I know they put out a bolo or a watch for drone attacks in California. I'm hearing that they got drones in the United States. That can shoot missiles and blow up and do all sorts of shit. And I'm hearing that it's not good. You got to be on the lookout. Be very aware. And I heard Michigan is especially a hotbed right now for chatter. Michigan is blowing up as far as conversations. All my sources, and I have a few people on the federal side that are telling me Michigan is
Sure. Dearborn is a
popping.
huge Muslim
It's
population.
popping. It's popping. So
Yeah.
whether someone travels and they're starting to shoot around the United States, I don't know, but they're here. And I would be shocked if something doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't. I hope I'm completely wrong.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not if, it's when, and it's what it is.
Yep. I don't disagree, David. We talked about sleeper cells last week. We're not going to get into it all again, but there's people that are in our country, thanks to the Democrats with the open borders. They made it a lot easier for them to get here. Literally tens of millions of people came over, and they weren't all of our grandparents looking to be immigrants and people that were going to contribute to our great American society. They're looking to take us down from the inside. We talked about those people last week, and you're saying that your intel sources, which I believe are dead nuts on, we got some concerns coming up, and we talked about sleeper cells. And again, David said it earlier, folks, see something, say something. Danny, what's next, my brother?
Breaking tonight, a Fox News exclusive. We have new information that appears to directly contradict the Biden administration's insistence it had nothing to do with the Justice Department investigations into then former President Trump's alleged retention of classified material and the subsequent raid on his Mar-a-Lago home. Correspondent David Spott has details tonight. Good evening, David.
Brett, good evening to you. These emails obtained by Fox News paint a different picture of the relationship between the Biden White House and the Biden Justice Department. These two offices made it clear at the time, at least publicly, they were not connected and stayed away from any political interference. However, new emails obtained by Fox News from May 2022, 3 months before Mar-a-Lago was raided by the FBI, illustrates coordination between the White House counsel's office and the DOJ regarding an interview of Walt Nauta. Now, remember, Walt Nauta is a current White House aide to President Trump, who was then former President Trump's aide in Florida. Nauta was later charged alongside Trump by special counsel Jack Smith. The May 10th, 2022 email reads, coordination with DOJ and White House counsel are in work to start the process to confirm and interview current administration employee Walt Nauta. This event is dependent upon the timeline of President Biden's brief decision and coordination between White House counsel and DOJ, and in turn, Evan Corcoran's position on the override of privilege assertion and whether or not he seeks an injunction to prevent access. That was written by an FBI agent, and Evan Corcoran, of course, one of Trump's lawyers at the time. This coming August, Brett, will mark 4 years since FBI agents raided Mar-a-Lago. A few days after that, then Attorney General Merrick Garland said this.
I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly.
And we're getting new reaction to these emails. Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan in the House says, in part, it's always worse than we thought. These newly released documents confirm that the Biden DOJ's raid on Mar-a-Lago was politically motivated. We're also hearing from Attorney General Pam Bondi. AG Bondi says the more we learn about the DOJ weaponization under the prior administration, the worse the story gets. And Brett, she says this right here. It's a key part. She says we will continue disclosing key evidence to our congressional partners to deliver the truth and bring those who committed crimes to justice. That coming from the Attorney General tonight. Brett.
So, David, we talked about this before. They were talking about the raid on Mar-a-Lago. They were paranoid because they felt Trump had taken confidential top secret information files, which some say he was entitled to, some say he wasn't entitled to. They were nervous that he had some shit in his.
Who gives a shit? Like, seriously.
They all
so did Biden. Get the fuck
well,
out.
What they were worried about, it's my understanding what they were worried about is he took information relative to him getting wiretapped by Biden and by Obama and those pieces of shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
it was a cover your ass thing.
Let me tell you the biggest thing, and we've talked about this before, David, about that Mar-a-Lago raid on his compound and his White House in Florida, basically. What's disgusting about it, it's my understanding that the affidavit was written, that search warrant was executed as a no-knock. So you have a former president who has Secret Service protections, which that thing, I am so surprised that there was not a shootout at Mar-a-Lago.
I wouldn't know. Would you have gone in there? I would have serious reservations as a SWAT guy and as a guy that done probably 500 to 700 narcotic search warrants. I would have had a hard time someone selling me the fact that I was going to do a search warrant entry on Mar-a-Lago with Secret Service protection.
Yeah.
Like they would have had I don't. They had to have gotten the sign off that they were good to go. There's no way. There's no way they could have gone in there without the Secret Service giving them the blessing to go in there. I don't think.
The way they said it was a no knock. They said that it was. I'm like, Ted, I mean, come on. And the worst part about that whole warrant was Trump had met with the FBI and the DOJ numerous times on other occasions, and they went there to give him advice. They said, okay, you have files. Yeah, I got files. Okay, the files are here. Okay, just make sure that they're locked up. Make sure they're over here. Make sure they're over there. I mean, it's no secret, and it's disgusting. This isn't hyperbole and me being political here. I mean, they rifled through Melania's underwear drawers. They were being totally disgusting about this warrant. You know what I mean? This was a total F you to Trump by Biden, that piece of shit, Obama and Clinton and all those pieces.
And I love how Obama has shit strewn about his crack den mansion in Delaware. He has shit everywhere in his garage, by the Corvette. He's got it in his office. Trump's got stuff in boxes in a cage, locked up. Like it was locked up, like like all organized. And they bust his balls.
Yeah.
But Sleepy Joe's got it like strewn about like he was on a bender and like dumped it all over the place. No big deal.
Right.
No big deal.
Right. It's just disgusting. What I mean, the thing is all this stuff that they've accused Trump of doing everything under the sun, and it has all turned out to be bullshit. What Trump has accused them of doing has been labeled as bullshit by the left-wing media and the left-wing Democrats. It's all become true. Everything that he said about them is all true.
Even the election. I was a denier. I was like, all right with the election. Like, all right that it was like, I'm looking now, and every week it's like somebody in Georgia, 12,000 absentee ballots were in their possession, and they, you know what I mean? Like it's all this sketchy shit.
Well, how about Trump telling everybody he's getting his phones tapped, and everyone made fun of him for saying that, and he was getting 100%. His phones tapped,
100%.
Which you and I both know what it takes to get a wire.
By the way, the most dirty, traitorous, anti-American MFer that I've ever seen,
Barack,
in my lifetime. Barack Obama is the biggest fraud, the biggest used car salesman, the biggest piece of shit to America that's ever lived. That guy is scum of the earth.
Yeah.
That guy, if this was 100 years ago, would have been hung.
Yeah.
He would have been treasonous.
Yeah.
He is horrifically evil.
Yeah.
With a smile on his face.
Yeah. Everyone thinks because he's got such, he just talks. That guy's a piece of shit. What do we got next, Danny? We good? We don't have to talk about the maps. That's just, you don't have to do that if you don't. Okay. Danny wants us to play this. Go ahead.
I talked about fake teeth.
Bananas. That I actually had to text the congressman. He's my congressman who asked this question. And he's like, no, this is absolutely real. This is Congressman Brian Mast from Florida. He's actually my congressman. You know what? This clip speaks for itself.
So I think we were trying to make the maps more gay.
Literally? How do you make a map more gay?
I mean, especially
more gay
on it. Since the age of cartography, we've had pretty good maps, but maybe they weren't gay enough. So I know also, I took critical theory in college. I think sometimes people use queer as a verb. I do understand that the maps that we were trying to make gay were, I think, of Czechia and Slovakia. So maybe those countries asked for it. I doubt it, but I don't know.
We do have real things to work on in Congress, like what's going on with the imminent threat of Iran. And it is embarrassing that we have to talk about the fact that things like this were funded. Non-binary and trans francophones, linguistic attitudes and ideologies towards inclusive French in Montreal, Canada, these things. Any of these that you can provide me the receipt for, the Facebook link to where they wanted to take photos of how they were doing a DEIA flash mob in Kyrgyzstan, whatever documentation they have of all of these things, we would love to see that and would absolutely love to know the individuals specifically that were busy writing these grants.
What the hell is queering the map?
David, what was your definition of queering the map?
Putting a big cock on it.
It's just unbelievable.
So every city you want to identify has a penis on it. That's how I would queer map. If it's up to me.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Bad mother Trumper, gay map of Canada. By the way, you know what? You know what's so funny though about Canada, and I know I got shiny ball issues because
You got shiny balls.
Yeah, I put my shiny balls on a map and make it queer. You know what's unbelievable? Oh, Fire Guy just says, David, you owe him $20. You were really.
How do I owe $20?
Yeah.
Cock's not a fucking swear word.
Well, you just hit 2 right there.
Fuck him.
Yeah. Whoa, that's 3. Oh man, Danny. Or David, you're messed up, man. You're messed up.
I need a drink after that.
I forgot what I was saying.
I don't know. But listen, y'all like to count my drinks. This was tea, green tea. This is tequila, Fresca,
and grapefruit.
Splash of grapefruit. Because I'm waiting for my Florida vacation that's coming up, a little 20-day trip to Florida.
So, David, what do we have? Dave's cup again. Kristen's clocking your cup, by the way.
I know. She's all over my shit, Kristen.
I love it. By the way, Kristen had such a great line like a month or 2 ago. Remember, we were like, we're going to make it into a shirt. She had some great line. I always forgot what it was. She had a couple great lines.
And we're not making a shirt out of it now?
Wait, Fugazi is the only great thing about Canada is a sundowner. I think that's a strip joint, Fugazi.
It's 100% a strip joint. And I was there. That and Maxine's in Fort Erie. Those are the 2 that I used to maybe frequent. You know, I have a funny strip club story. When I was like, I don't know, 22, I went to Maxine's. And they give you the loonie, right? They give you the a dollar that's a coin. And they give you this when you buy beers and you're like in the strip club and they're giving you these coins. I had like 6 of these coins. So the fine, beautiful, outstanding, highly respected lady is dancing.
Yeah.
And by the way, if anyone sings you a song or gets naked for you, you always clap, which I always do.
Okay.
And yes, I'm a gentleman. And I gave her like 4 loonies, right? Like I didn't know. I didn't throw them I just like set them on the thing. She threw them at me.
Yeah, because she doesn't have magnetic underwear. Why don't you give her paper?
Why the hell do they have loonies as a currency in Canada and give them to me at a strip club that's a dollar currency? Of course I'm going to tip her with them.
Okay, David, please. Listen, we have dollar currency that's a coin too in America.
They don't give them to me at a strip club.
We have half dollars, full dollars. We have
not at a strip club. That's at the mint. I've never had a $50 in my life handed to me at a strip club.
Wait, would you bring your Skippy change belt and you went into a strip joint?
No, I bought beers and they were giving me loonies as change.
Remember Skippy used to.
If you want me to tip the broad dancing for me, like give me $1 to tip her then.
So you went to the strip joint, had no quiet money.
I had quiet money. I didn't know it was against the rules. I didn't know it was a foul. They gave me the thing in a strip club, so I thought I could then return it to the girl that had her boobies out.
You gave a stripper coins.
I set them on the bar. 6 of them was a $6 tip. Everyone else had dollars up there.
So you gave it to the bartender or the stripper?
I didn't give it to the stripper. I set it on the little ledge. I just set them up in a stack.
Oh, my God.
And then she threw them at me. And none hit me, by the way, because I'm a fast little bitch.
I'll be honest with you.
Yep.
This could be the funniest story I've ever heard. You tipped a stripper.
No, I got way more funny. I got way more funny strip club stories than that. I got a Puerto Rico strip club story that's unbelievable.
Would you tip her in dimes and quarters?
No, I had to buy.
That is America.
I got a room upstairs. That one, I had to buy a room upstairs and rent it out. And I was there for work. And then I got a ride from the manager to the airport.
From the stripper manager?
Yeah, to pick up my significant other who was coming in on a plane. But I sold it because if I stayed at the casino, I would have lost a lot of money. So I sold it. I lost less money going to the strip club than I would have been if I stayed at the casino.
What did you sell? Your room?
No, I sold to my significant other that it was a prudent move leaving the casino to go to the boom boom.
Oh,
room.
Okay. You lied.
Yeah, I had glitter all over my face. It smelled like bubble gum. I wasn't gonna lie.
Right.
And a guy picked the significant upper was spinning wheels on an Escalade. Yeah, my aunt knows. Listen, I'm a Simpson. She knows.
That's so great. Maybe we should just have a dedicated stripper special for you, David.
Listen, I think they're fantastic ladies. I just was tipping her, and she didn't like it. I thought it was reasonable. Someone can back me up on this. I didn't know that. Why would you have currency that you give to people that you can't use? Ask Pam. Get Pam in here. Pam will back me up on this. Money's money.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Danny's breathing hard.
So listen, here's the deal. We're gonna. By the way, I saw it real quickly. Newt's right. We didn't forget to talk about it, but we had so many topics that we wanted to get to tonight. But we've talked about it on social media and stuff like that. But Newt's right. We have a county legislature that allowed a former cop killer to speak in their chambers, and the Republicans walked out. Well, at least someone's got some dignity. Unbelievable. I don't know if it was, I don't think it was Rachel. I'm not really sure who invited him, but it's unbelievable that they had.
I thought it was one of those open forums where he there was a topic and they let him go in there to kind of like Kim did to the school, the school.
Yeah, I didn't think that you were allowed to do that at the county ledge though. Like open mic night? You thought it was like he was going to do something?
I don't know.
He was either going to talk about being a cop killer
I'd never been.
Or sing Thriller by Michael Jackson.
I'd never been. So that's what I thought it was. And then I thought the Republicans walked out and the Democrats stayed. But what do I know?
No, I don't know if the county, I know what you're saying, but you're being like an analogy of when city council has their meetings and it's open forum. I'm not sure if
the city does. I think you have to.
I don't know.
I'm going to look into this, but I think you have to, like, a certain amount of time.
I think they have to broadcast it. I don't know if they allow people to be present. I know what you're saying. I think it has to be public and certain, which is why they got the TV camera in it. Don't you see, like, Rachel's always got that shitty video? They got to send our super producer there to produce it because it's like you can't even look at the video. Looks like a 1940 tube television.
Right. Does. Very grainy.
Yeah, bad mother Trumper. You're 100% right. You were supposed to speak at my alma mater, actually, at Brockport State. Yeah, unbelievable.
She might have to be our assistant producer because she knows a lot about a lot of things, and she's
bad mother Trumper.
Yeah, she's constantly giving us the info that we need.
Oh wait, so by that statement, you're saying that Danny doesn't give us the information that we need?
No, I said assistant. Danny's on part. Did you see our microphone? Did you see our microphone? It had the logo on the microphone. It was the most professional, and it worked. It was the battery was charged. It was impressive.
Wait, so you're saying was there a time when the microphone didn't work?
There was a time when the microphone that I held was strictly to beat people with.
So I'm not sure. So basically, I'm not going to break it down, but you've insulted Danny the day before his birthday.
That was a compliment. It's all how you look at it. That was a compliment. I said the logos were fantastic and the battery was charged in the microphone. That was a compliment.
You also said to me that you dye your beard and you look 20, so it was a left-handed compliment. So you've basically been shelling out a bunch of left-handed compliments all night here. You've been killing me and Danny all night. Basically, we're like a punching bag for you right now.
Plead the fifth.
And then you end the episode.
Lawyer. I was on Channel 3 directing traffic. I didn't see shit.
Then you tell us that you gave a stripper quarters as a tip.
Loonies, dollars, $6. She threw $6 at me, which I kept. I picked up off the floor and kept.
Well, mother, look at bad mother is telling you that Danny can't be replaced.
I wasn't trying to replace him. I said assistant.
I'm assistant regional manager. No, you're the assistant.
By the way, just so everyone knows, and I didn't know this, I thought Mother Trumper owned a gun range in Florida for some reason. Bad Mother Trumper is affiliated with Fugazi News.
Yes.
Better half.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Here we go.
Yes, it is Danny's birthday. He is 42 years old.
Happy birthday.
Did I get it right? Are you 42?
Well, folks, there you have it. It is the eve of Danny, super producer Danny Agnew. Danny, happy birthday to you, my brother. You do way too much for us, and we are undeserving of you, especially when my better half constantly throws jabs at you publicly.
He knows I
and
love him.
alive.
If I don't talk shit to you, then that means I don't like you.
So, anyways, do we have anything else there, Danny boy? Oh, yeah, put it up there, Danny. Go ahead.
What's all in?
This is the benefit. We've talked about this for like a month. So March 28th, all in for RPD. It's casino night, emceed by the infamous Mayor Pete Kennedy. Purchase tickets. Call us, text us, hit that QR code at the bottom of the screen. Two super organizations, Italio and Our Poller, have teamed up. It's for the 3 officers that were shot on December 19th prior to Christmas of 2025. All 100% of the proceeds are going to go to those officers and their families. Thank you for supporting them. It's a great cause. Shout out to Tony DeFonte. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. This is the Crime Dog live stream. We ran a little heavy and a little late tonight, but hey, what are you going to do? Sometimes it happens. No shot clock here. Thanks for tuning into the Crime Dog live show. We hope you stick with us for future episodes. But like my brother-in-law, Frankie Grassi, says, if you can't make it next time, who cares?
Ooh.